Hey there, everybody, it's Rad.
Today I'm going to be painting a snow person with watercolor and also oil pastels. It's a mixed media, which means a combination of two different materials and sometimes two different genres. So the brush is by Princeton Select. It's a number 8. The paints are by Prang, and I've got Crepa by Sakura, and this is a 12 pack. I'm using paper here. It's watercolor paper by Canson. I've got a cup of water, only half a cup, because if I spill it, then I have less to clean up. And I like to use a tray like this because that way if it does spill, the tray will pick up the mess before the table does. Let me show you how I hold my brush. I hold it here where the metal part is, sort of like between the metal and this painted wood. The metal is what is holding everything together. And the bristles here are rounded. This is a round brush, and they are synthetic bristles. So to keep things clean here, hold the brush like this, then I turn and I swipe like that. I do not bang it on the edge because that will make splatters all over my paper and my table. So I want to keep things pretty clean here. So once again, I dip my brush in like this, turn, and I swipe like that. And if you notice, that water drop was inside, not outside. I'm also going to swipe in the very much the same way in my paints. So I'm going to go like this a couple times and that's it. Now, have you ever looked at snow before and noticed that the shadows of snow are usually light blue or lavender or any color within that range? Well, that's what I'll be doing today as well. I'll be using blue and violet. Yes, that's violet, even though it seems very dark. Look. And now, some blue. All right, so here we go. So the first thing I'm gonna do, this center sphere first. I'll be doing it right in the center of the page. Now I'm gonna take some water in the blue, and in here, I'm gonna make a circle with an open-ended shape there. I'm gonna quickly take some water, dab it in here, and I'm gonna make this a little bit blurred on the edges. And I'm going to leave a lot of white here in this area because the main color of this snow person is white, the local color. Now I'm gonna take some purple as well, and I'm gonna make it look like the sun's coming from up here, sort of like where this yellow is actually. You could imagine that's the sun, I suppose. And I'm gonna put some purple here on the opposite side of the yellow to show that is the extreme darkness. Swipe. And notice it's blending here, which is exactly what I want. All right, I'm moving on to the next section, which is gonna be the larger part in the bottom. Again, take some blue, starting at the the circular shape that I made before. And now I'm gonna take some water and I'm going to blend that out, blur it out as it were. I'm gonna take a little bit of that purple. While this is still wet, it's blending into the blue. In fact, I'm gonna take a little bit more blue. There you have it. That's a lot of shadow there, right? Water alone, just to make it move. Notice, by the way, I'm pretty much doing this with my brush. I just work fast because I need to before this water and this paint will dry. And again, leaving a big section here that is white. Now the next one is going to be the smaller one of the three. And I'm not going to put too much shadow on the next one, just a little bit. Little bit of purple, at least so it matches the other two. And blur that violet out. But I don't want to put too much here because I need to have a lot of white space so I can make a face. All right, now I'm gonna put a little bit of shadow over here, because the sun, there's the sun, is casting a shadow. This is the cast shadow now. A lot of water to make this blurred. A little drop of purple, of the violet, and there we go. Let me blur out the edges of this with water. There you go. If I think I need a little more shadow, put it in here while this is still wet. I'm gonna bring this out and blur it as far as I can. All right, so I think I'm done with the brush for now. I'll come back to the brush in a bit. I'm gonna open up my oil pastels and here we go. I'm gonna be using, let's say, a light blue, and I'm gonna put very faintly here a line to show like a hill. And that'll be the division between my sky and the snow. And I think I'm gonna wanna use now a white. So watch this. This is sort of like magic. You're not gonna be able to see exactly what I'm gonna be doing here, but just trust that I am doing this. What I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be drawing things here with white, and then I'm gonna be painting over it later on, okay? I'm gonna draw, while I'm waiting for this to dry, I'm gonna draw a snow person here in the distance. Pressing really hard, there's a circle there and another circle there. I think I'm gonna just do 2 circles. I'm also going to put some coniferous trees, some pine trees, in the distance, in the background. See, this is at a higher picture plane, and it is smaller than this snow person in the foreground. That's how you know it's in the background. I'm doing this in stripes, as you can see, so that it looks like there's snow falling on those boughs, on every other branch there. But I don't want to make it too perfect. You know, nature, after all, is perfectly imperfect, as I always say. Perhaps I might want to make a cottage. I'll take some brown here. There's a little door. Dark blue for shadow. Peach for the door. I hope you're about your imagination, because we're going to need it for the next section. And I think that my snow person might be dry now, so I could paint the eyes and the scarf and whatever else I like to do. I'm going to make it look like it's coming in here. That's good. This one I'm overlapping a bit. And I think this one I'm going to add another branch coming out there. I could also, I'm going to put some white on the top here. Later on, it's going to look like snow has fallen, and it's fallen on the branch. You'll see. It's a technique called watercolor resist we'll be doing soon. All right, I'm going to be using some purple for buttons and eyes and mouth to represent the coal. I could use black, but I just like the idea of using the shadow colors, blue and purple. There's my little snow person over there. Let's put the nose, do a line here, then a skinny triangle, curve out the end. So now I have to decide, what am I going to do? Earmuffs? Am I going to put on a headdress with reindeers? Look, a woolly hat with a scarf. I could do a top hat. This is often done. I've once done a Lady Liberty headdress, so I think I'm going to do this one actually. And then I'm going to put the hat on. I'm going to skip. I did this movement of going up and down to make it look like it's kind of a woolly hat. Give it texture. There you go. Again, perfectly imperfect. Now it's time to add some snow. And this is what I was talking about before. I'm going to make it look like snow is falling, but you can't tell from looking at this when you first look at it, because I have to put paint on it for that to show up. Pressing really hard with big old clumps of snow. I can't really see what I'm doing. Okay, so trust me, it's there. You can't see it, but it is. All right, let's go back to the blue and purple, and I'm going to be mixing the colors directly on the paper. I'm going to take some blue. I'm going to take some violet, and let's watch the magic happen. Do you see how the oil pastel, which is made out of oil, is pushing off the watercolors, which is water-based, and they don't mix? So to our advantage, they don't mix, and it's making it look like snow has fallen. That's how I got this effect. Let me actually add some snow on the top of this before I start painting it to make it look like it snowed on top of the hat. Pressing really hard, remember. Remember, just swipe. No need to dig in here. You're not going to find gold in the bottom of that. See, I can paint over the snow person and it pretty much stays put. This is called watercolor resist. When I get to the edge of the snow person, I want to just be careful and add a darker tone here for contrast. Just like I had this dark blue here. You know, light versus dark, so that that snow person does stand out. But then if it seems too dark, I'm going to add more water. See this? Just get some more water, put it on, and move it around with this kind of movement. All right. I'm going to put a little shadow on this side of my hill. Not too much though. Maybe over here. Now water alone, and it's just going to fade into nothing. And that's it. There's my little snow person in the snow. There's so many variations that you could do to this technique and this idea. So now it's your turn. I've got 2 words for you. Get cracking.